Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening and welcome to today's session. It's day 4 and we have already completed 3 medicines, that is abrotanum, acetic acid, and yesterday we read about bacteria. Now today on day 4 we will be starting with caladium. Caladium is a very small remedy, so we will start with caladium. We'll discuss caladium first, and after that we will read about all the medicines and how to differentiate them, all the medicines for headache and how to differentiate them, so that we will be discussing in second part. Let's wait for a few minutes and then we will start. Okay, please let me know who all have joined the session. Okay, so let's start with Caladium from Alan's Keynote. So first let's read the basic information. So Caladium, the common name is American arum. It belongs to family Araceae. It was proved by Dr. Herring, and the part uses whole fresh plant. Whole plant is used, fresh plant is used, and it belongs to class 3. This is basic information of Caladium. American arum, proved by Herring, family Araceae. Part uses whole fresh plant and belongs to class 3. So first line is very sensitive to noise, slightest noise startles from sleep. So in bracket we can see other remedies like asaram, noxomica and tarantula. So patient is very sensitive to noise. Slightest noise startle from sleep. Like even if there is any slight noise, he will get up. Means the sleep is very light. He gets startled. दचक जाता है sleep में. Okay, नींद में दचक जाएगा from even a slight noise. So he is very sensitive to noise. Also sensitive to noise is SRM, Noxomica and Tarantula. Okay, in SRM, one symptom is given that the patient is so sensitive that even the crumpling of the paper will disturb him. So you can see on SRM on page number 51. Oversensitiveness of nerves, scratching of linen or silk, crackling of paper is unbearable in SRM. So same way, Caladium is also very sensitive to noise and slightest noise startles him. Eructations. How is eructations? Frequent and of very little wind, as if stomach were full of dry food. This is important, that frequent and very little wind, as if stomach were full of dry food. Now, caladium is a medicine which acts mostly on genital organs, so it is useful for all the genital system disturbances. So, like impotence. So, what happened in impotence? In impotence, there is impotence with mental depression and relaxed penis with sexual desire and excitement. Okay, so sexual desire and excitement is present, but relaxed penis, it is compared with lycopodium and selenium. Okay, so impotence is there in caladium. No erections even after caress, no emission, no orgasm during an embrace, compared with calcaria and selenium. So no erection. Then pruritus vaginae induces onanism. Pruritus is there, pruritus vagina is there, it induces onanism. Compare with origanum and zincum during pregnancy and with mucus discharge. Falls asleep during evening fever and wakes when it stops. So yesterday as we saw the character of sweat, that it is sweet sweat which attract the fly. So sweet sweat which attract the fly, and caladium is a remedy which is useful for mosquito and insect bite which burn and itch intensely. If there is any sort of mosquito bite or insect bite, and after that which patient is having burning or itching, that time caladium can be prescribed. And patient is having aversion to motion and dread to move, like in bryonia. So patient is having aversion to motion or dread to move, yeah, fear to move. Okay, and if caladium is given to a person who have craving for tobacco or addiction to tobacco, then it destroys that craving for tobacco. So caladium can also be used for tobacco craving or for tobacco de-addiction. Okay, so this is basic. I have selected caladium for discussion today, so that we get enough time for discussion of different medicine for headache, different character of headache in different medicines. So that is all about caladium. It is very small remedy. As I said that the common name is American arum. The prover is Dr. Herring. The family is Eraceae. It belongs to class 3, and the whole fresh plant is used for the preparation of medicine. It acts mainly on the genital organs, so it causes pruritus vaginae. Okay, and mostly it is during pregnancy. And there will be impotence with increased desire, and the patient is very sensitive to even least noise, and sweet sweat which attract flies. It can be used for mosquito bite which burn and itch intensely, and patient is having aversion to motion or dread of motion, and this caladium is useful to destroy the craving of tobacco. So that is all. Not even 5-6 point about caladium is given in Allen's keynote, but all important points. Okay, so in this, as it is very small remedy, no relationship section has been given. So few points only you need to remember, and mostly 2 or 3 questions are asked as MCQ from caladium. One is sweet sweat which attract flies and it destroys craving for tobacco, and impotence with sexual desire and excitement. These are the 3 important points which can be asked, which is usually asked as MCQ. So remember them. And yeah, that is all. Not much about caladium. So any question you can ask. Any doubt, any question, not related to only Caladium, but also if you have any doubt or question, related to all the three last remedies which we studied, aprotinum, acetic acid, baptisia, you can ask. And please let me know who all have joined now, at least. Anything? It should be more of an interactive session. It should not be like a lecture where I'm only, reading and saying, and you people are not even responding. So that doesn't, make it very interesting for me. If you ask question, if we have discussion, then okay, okay, no questions. Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, okay. So today now we will be discussing about headache. So if you have, I'll share notes with you, but now not today, maybe next week. Today we will be only discussing. So I'll just tell you, and if you want, you can take note of it. You can write it down in the book, or you can mark in the textbook also. What all medicines are important, and what all character or points you should remember for headache in different remedies which are usually asked. Headache is present in all of the medicines, almost all medicines, but few medicines are there, where the character is very peculiar, very characteristic. So in that MCQ is asked. So we will consider only that remedy which have very peculiar headache. So peculiarity can be in the location, in the sensation, or at the time modalities. Few medicine have at the peculiar time is fixed that this time headache appears, or weekly aggravation, weekly amelioration. All such things are present in many medicines. So let's start. You can note it down. Yesterday, as we stopped on that MCQ, where the question was sensation as if thousands of needles were pricking in the brain. Patient has sensation as if thousands of, you can imagine thousands of needles, बारीक सुई जो होगी, and thousands of, they are pricking in the brain. ऐसा जब लगता है और जब इस तरीके का दर्द होता है, that time which is the indicated medicine, it is tarantula hispanica. So in tarantula, the character of headache is as if thousands of needles were pricking in the brain. So tarantula is needles. Okay, remember that. So thousands of needles pricking in the brain, tarantula hispanica, first medicine. And to compare with it, natrum muriaticum, during and after menses. This is also important. When is the the time of headache? So it is during and after menses, as though 1,000 little hammers when knocking in the brain. So you see, only difference is of only a single word. In tarantula, there is sensation as if thousands of needles were pricking, and in natrum mur, there is sensation as if thousands of hammers were knocking in the brain. So remember this, do not be confused. And in natrum mur, it is during and after menses. Okay, so that is the character of natrum mur headache. Then in ignatia also has characteristic headache. In ignatia, what the patient feel is as if a nail. What do you mean by nail? Everyone knows, I'm sure. Nail is कीला जो हम दीवार में ये करते हैं, right? So as if a nail was driven out through the side, relieved by lying on it. The patient feels that as if a nail, जो कीला बोलते हम, so that is driven out from the brain, that something from a nail from inside is coming out, and when patient lie on that same side he feels better, is ignitia. So remember, this is confusing. Many medicines are there with same sensation. Okay, we'll just differentiate. So write it down that ignitia, the headache is as if a nail was driven out through this side. Okay, out through this side, which is relieved by lying on it. Okay, now let's compare it. Let's compare it with cophia. So cophia, page not 102. In what happens when I said that in ignitia the nail is driving out from the brain, from inside out it is going. What happened in cophia cruda? In cophia cruda the headache characteristic is, headache is due to mental exertion, over exertion, thinking, and it is as from a nail driven into the brain. Okay, so in ignitia the nail is drawn out, and in cophia the nail is drawn into the brain. Okay, यहाँ अंदर से बाहर की तरफ जा रहा है इन इग्निशिया, और कॉफिया में बाहर से अंदर की तरफ आ रहा है. दिस इज डिफरेंस. ओके, यू शुड रिमेंबर. और this is a small differentiating points on which MCQs are questions are framed. So remember ignitia and cophia, and also this nux vomica. In cophia also there is one sensation as if brain were torn or dashed to pieces. Okay, as if brain is dashed to pieces. अभी फट जाएगा सर या फट गया है सर, ऐसा फील होता है. Okay, then in nux vomica, I'm saying it randomly because they have similarity and we can differentiate it on. In nux vomica, this page 2. Headache is in nux vomica. Nux vomica headache is not given in Allen's keynote. Okay, but you can write it down that in nux vomica headache is pressing pain on vertex. Here the pressing pain, ऐसा लगता है दब रहा है. प्रेस होना is दबाना, तो इस तरीके का दबाव होता है फील. that pressing pain on vertex as if nail driven in. Okay, as if a nail is there and it is driven in. This pain is here in nux vomica. In cophia cruda, so in nux vomica also it is driven in cophia cruda it is also driven in ignitia it is opposite, it is driven out. Okay, so this is basic difference. Also one comparison with thuja. So in thuja, what is the difference? In thuja the patient is as if a nail had been driven into parietal bone. Where is the parietal bone? In the parietal bone. Here the nail has been driven into parietal bone. Okay, so three medicines, cophia cruda, nux vomica and thuja, all three of them has a sensation that the nail is driven into, okay, into the brain. Okay, into the brain, into the parietal bone or whatever, but it is into. And in only in ignitia there is sensation that is the nail is driven out. Okay, so remember this. So and tarantula and natramure, I already told you, in tarantula 1000 needles and in natramure 1000 hammers. Okay, then in sabadilla, what is in sabadilla? Sabadilla headache is from too much thinking. From this is direct MCQ, huh? This line is direct MCQ. Sabadilla from too much thinking, too close application or attention, and from worms. Okay, so headache from worms is sabadilla. Also in sabadilla, you will not find it in sabadilla itself, but in the relationship of sanguinaria. You can see that in sabadilla the headache is every 7th day. So this is also important. So headache every 7th day is sabadilla. Along with it other medicines are also there, but remember sabadilla. Okay, due to too much thinking, too close application, from worms, and every 7th day is sabadilla. Okay, and you can compare it with argentum nitricum, page number 43. In argentum nitricum the headache is Headache is nitricum is also ameliorated by pressure or tight bandaging. Okay, and it is also because of too much thinking, too close application or attention. Okay, and it is also from dancing. So headache from dancing is argentum nitricum. Okay, remember this. Argentum nitricum is headache from dancing. Hmm? Then next is carboanimalis. In carboanimalis, the patient feels that headache is as if a tornado in head. So tell me, what do you mean by tornado? It is tornado actually. R is silent, so it is tornado. What is tornado? Tornado is the spelling, but it is tornado. Okay, can anyone tell me what is tornado? What is the meaning of tornado? Anyone? What is tornado? Any guesses? Tornado in head means you can at least guess what it can be. No one? Good, good, Razina. Yeah. So tornado means violent storm, है ना, तूफान जैसा जिसको हम बोलेंगे. A violent storm is tornado. So patient feels as if there is a tornado or violent storm in the head. In which remedy? Which medicine has this sensation? Tell me. Right. Carboanimalis we are reading. So you all are attentive. Okay, so carboanimalis, the sensation as if tornado in head. Tornado means is violent storm, or as said by Razina, wonder. Okay. So next is cactus grandiflorus. Okay, what happened in cactus grandiflorus? There is a pressing like a heavy weight on vertex. Okay. In cactus, there is pressing sensation as if heavy weight either on vertex, and headache is during climacteric. Okay, amelioration by pressure. So heavy weight on vertex is cactus. Then carbolic acid. In carbolic acid, the patient is having headache. The character is, it is dull, it is very heavy, frontal headache, and the headache is as if a rubber band were stretched tightly over the forehead from temple to temple. From this temple to this temple, a rubber band has been stretched tightly over forehead. This is the sensation patient feels इन कार्बोलिक एसिड. ओके, सो कार्बोलिक एसिड का हेडेक ऐसा होगा कि एक रबर बैंड को खींच के यहाँ से यहाँ तक टाइट कर दिया है, और यहाँ पर जो है यहाँ हेडेक हो रहा है. दिस फ्रंटल हेडेक इज देयर. सो दैट इज कार्बोलिक एसिड. ओके, सो in relation to this, let's see how is the headache of gelsemium. अगर किसी को कुछ समझ नहीं आता है, so you can ask any time. Okay, and do ask. Gelsemium. Okay, so how is the headache of gelsemium? Okay, so in gelsemium there is sensation of a band around the head above eyes. So this is eye, above eyes यहाँ पे, and there is sensation of a band around the head. So same thing, but words are different, expression is different. That in carbolic acid patient has described it very well. From temple to temple, a rubber band is stretched. Okay, but in gelsemium it is directly, that is as if a band is there above eye. He is not directly saying forehead, but it is said that it is around the head, above eyes. Okay, so it is around the head and above eyes. Okay, so sensation of a band around the head, above eyes is gelsemium. Okay, so remember this relation. Also in gelsemium, headache is preceded by blindness. Okay, and it is ameliorated by profuse urination. Okay, जितना ज़्यादा urination होगा headache जल्दी कम हो जाता है. And it starts with blindness. Okay, first patient will be unable to see anything, and after that, so usually such thing happen in migraine and all. Patient have aura, different kinds of aura. So in that it can be it can be blindness. Okay, so the headache which is preceded by blindness and ameliorated by profuse urination is gelsemia. Now same headache is also in calibicromium. Okay, now you can see we are jumping, we are going inside, like from we started with carbolic acid, now gelsemia. From gelsemia we can go to calibicromium. So all medicines are related to one another in some or other way. So in calibicromium we have this same character of headache. This is that it is also preceded by this blindness. In calibicromium the headache is also preceded by blindness, but the blindness goes as the headache increases. Okay, जैसे दर्द headache ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगा, blindness ठीक हो जाती है. So that is calibicromium. Okay, and also in gelsemium, headache is, it begins in here in the cervical region, cervical spine, and then it extends over the head. Okay, and there is a bursting sensation. Okay, so yeah, to remember the character of headache in gelsemium, it is preceded by blindness, it is ameliorated by profuse urination, sensation as if a band over around the head, above eye, and it begins in cervical region and then extend to all over the head. Okay, so these are the characteristic of gelsemium headache. Remember this. And gelsemium headache is compared with calibicromium headache, and gelsemium headache is also compared with carbolic acid headache. Okay, then after that, next, you people are understanding or not? Is it going fine or ज़्यादा speed है, कम है, या okay, please tell me. Is it okay if you people are understanding what I am saying, what I am trying to teach? It's fine now? Yeah, okay. Okay, so next is, let's see how is the headache of platina. Yeah, okay, okay. The headache of platina. In platina, the headache is heavy pain in brain or on vertex, and headache is because of anger or chagrin, and headache is hysterical. Okay, and pain, this is important, all this is not important. MCQ will be, pain is, yeah, okay, okay, thank you. Pain gradually increase and then gradually decrease. Okay, धीरे धीरे पेन बढ़ता बढ़ता जाएगा और फिर धीरे धीरे ही कम होता जाएगा. Gradually, slowly, है ना. So it will increase slowly, 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 and then it will decrease slowly, slowly, slowly. This is platina, and that will be because of anger or some sort of disappointment, है ना. किसी चीज़ से चिढ़ जाते हैं, जब गुस्सा हो जाता है तो उसके बाद सर दर्द स्टार्ट हो जाता है ना. And it is mostly hysterical. What do you mean by hysterical? What is hysterical? Can anyone answer? We read about hysteria, hysterical remedy. What it is exactly? How we can find hysterical in patient or any person? Or in simple language, when we can say that a person is hysterical. Okay. Okay, more. Okay, no one. So hysterical means hysterical is anything which is uncontrolled. Okay, so it can be anger, it can be excitement. Uncontrolled, yes, emotions which are uncontrolled. Okay, so that is hysterical or hysteria. So when patient has anything, जब गुस्सा आ रहा है तो normal is fine, a bit above is also okay, but the hysterical we can say when it is uncontrollable. Okay, and patient tends to do things which are not expected. So when such thing happen, we call it is not normal, so it is hysterical. Okay, uncontrolled emotions are always hysteria. It can be anything. Emotions, all emotions will be included: anger, any sort of excitement. Okay, sexual desire, all these are included in hysteria. So hysteria, why we have used in platina? What is hysterical in platina? Which emotion is uncontrollable in platina or hysterical in platina? Anyone? If you are having Allen's and you're reading with me, just below headache that point is given. Which is the uncontrolled emotion in platina? Why platina is hysterical? No one. Right. Nymphomania is excessive sexual desire. Okay, that is in platina. So it is excess in that way. Cry. Okay, cry is not that much, but this sexual desire is very excess in platina. Okay, so yeah, that is all about platina headache. Then next is sulfur. Let's see how is the headache of sulfur. I'm going randomly because we are reading it in relation to each other. Okay, so in sulfur the headache is sick headache, which is every week. This is important. Okay, every week or every 2 week. It can be every week or it can be every 2 week with hot vertex and cold feet. Yeah, right, Resina, that is also right. Okay, so in sulfur what happens is sick headache. Headache is every week or it can be every 2 week. Okay, and with that there is hot here. If you touch, you should if you want to give prescribe sulfur to patient for headache. Okay, always check it this way. Then when you check it here vertex, it will be hot or warm, at least it will be hot basically. So here it is hot, and when you check the feet it will be cold. So hot vertex and feet cold, this one point. And another point, it can be every week or every 2 week. Okay, मतलब every 2 week will be 15 days. The patient will say every 15 days, और हर हफ्ते होता है या हर 15 दिन में होता है. And when you check here it is hot and feet will be cold, so then it is confirmed that sulfur is the remedy for it. So in sulfur, every week, every 2 week with hot vertex and feet cold. Okay, remember this. So yeah, that is about sulfur headache. Next I was saying about calibicromium, right? So calibicromium, as I have said already, that there is blurred vision or blindness, okay, which precede the attack, like in gelsemium. And she must lie down. There is aversion to light and noise. And sight return, this is important, that sight returns as headache increases. मतलब पहले तो दिखना कम हो जाता है, ब्लाइंडनेस हो जाती है, और उसके बाद तेज सर दर्द शुरू हो जाएगा. और सर दर्द जैसे बढ़ जाता है धीरे धीरे करके, तेज जब सर दर्द हो जाएगा उसके बाद जो ब्लाइंडनेस थी वो ठीक हो जाती है. दैट साइट रिटर्न्स एज हेडेक इंक्रीजेस. ओके, सो दैट इज calibicromium, that sight return as headache increases. Next, so that calibicromium in relation to gelsemium, remember. Okay, Then next is lag defloratum. What is in lag defloratum headache is very important. Remember, many MCQs are asked from this one small paragraph. So American sick headache. This is one MCQ. Okay, American headache. This three words is one MCQ. Okay. So American sick headache. It begins in forehead. It extends to occiput. In morning on rising. Intense throbbing with nausea, vomiting, blindness, and obstinate constipation, aggravation by noise, light and motion, and during menses. Great prostration. An amelioration is by pressure by bandaging head tightly. Okay. So basically these are all symptoms of migraine only. But it is only that it is not one-sided. It starts in forehead and then it spreads like this and it goes to here occiput. And morning में होगा. Then it will be with nausea, vomiting, blindness, constipation. Okay, during menses. And aggravation will be by noise, light, and motion. And amelioration will be by tight bandaging. You can see many people when they have headache, they tie any or dupatta or any sort of like this tightly they bind it, so that bandaging helps them. So same way in like defloratum, pressure tightly bandaging help the patient relieve the pain. So amelioration is by tight bandaging. Okay, so that is like defloratum. What is important is American sick headache. These three words are important in like defloratum. Okay, then we have talked about iris. So iris versicolor. Yeah, in iris versicolor the pain is every 8th day. Okay, the headache will be every 8th day. And in Sabadilla we saw every 7th day. So in Sabadilla it is every 7th day. In iris it is every 8th day. Okay. In sulfur it is every week or every 2 week. This time modality is also very important. And sanguinaria. So differentiate. Two remedies are always compared. Sanguinaria and So in sanguinaria also the headache, sanguinaria and this spigelia. These two are compared. So, but then Ranjit, Dr. Ranjit, yeah, it is given. That is why you should remember the factors given. Like modalities of the headache. Only one point, remembering only one point is not helpful. You should remember the modalities is given. The character of headache in like defloratum and sanguinaria is different. So that will be the differentiating point. So that is how you rule out the options while solving the MCQs. So in sanguinaria, what it is? Sanguinaria is right side. Okay, remember spigelia and sanguinaria. Sanguinaria is right side, spigelia is left side. Bus, this is the difference. Baki, everything is same. Like the pain will start here in the occiput and it will spread upward. Okay, and then it will settle in. Yeah, wait, I'll tell you. Okay, it will start here. Okay, in sanguinaria the pain start in occiput. Okay, then it spread upward. Okay, and then it set in राइट आई. ओके, सो दिस यहाँ से शुरू होके ऐसे ऊपर आके राइट आई में जब सेटल होगा देन द रेमेडी इज sanguinaria. ओके, ऑल्सो सैलिशिया सेम कैरेक्टर इज देयर, राइट साइड में सेटल होता है. तो sanguinaria, सैलिशिया बोथ and same character. Pain will start here, goes upward and then settle in left eye. So then the remedy is spigelia. So only side will differ. Right is sanguinaria, left is spigelia. Okay, remember this. This is very important differentiating point for MCQ and for prescribing to patient also. Okay. Then yeah. Okay, every 7th day I told you Sabadilla is the remedy, but also Silesia and sulfur is given in bracket. Okay, and every 8th day is iris versicolor. Yeah. So how many we completed? Can anyone say? How many medicine has been told? Headache. Anyone writing, taking notes? Anyone even listening? What? Yeah, belladonna we will discuss. I'm asking how many we have already discussed. Anyone taking note? Okay. Who has asked yesterday to give this? Like we will discuss about headache. You only, I guess, na? Dr. Ranjit or okay. So next is agaricus. Agaricus muscarius. In agaricus, headache is headache from spinal affections. Okay, this is important. So the headache of those who readily become delirious in fever with yeah. Okay. So headache of those who readily become delirious in fever of persons subject to chorea, twitchings or grimaces from spinal affection. This is important. MCQ is headache from spinal affection is agaricus muscarius. Okay. Then headache of Allium cepa. This is also important. Headache ceases during menses and it returns when flow disappear. That when menses are there won't be headache. जब menses चल रहे हैं तब headache नहीं रहेगा. जैसे ही menses बंद हो जाएंगे उसके बाद दोबारा से headache start हो जाता है. Okay, so headache ceases during menses and returns when flow disappear is Allium cepa. Okay, Allium cepa. Also two other medicines are there, lachesis and zincum metallicum. Okay, but lachesis and zincum metallicum we will discuss later. For now, remember Allium cepa, headache ceases during menses and return when flow disappear. Okay, then in this allosocotrina, headache is alternate with lumbago. Okay, whenever there is lumbago, there won't be headache. Okay, so there will be headache which alternate with lumbago. So this is important. Okay, and there will be headache after insufficient stool. Okay, so insufficient stool headache is there in allosocotrina. Remember this. Okay, after that another important is this ammonium carb. Okay, in ammonium carb, headache is sensation of fullness as if forehead would burst. Only forehead, okay? Forehead would burst. There is sensation as if forehead would burst in ammonium carbonicum. Okay. Then in anacardium, this is important. ये direct question आता है. This can be directly asked as MCQ or for match the following. For that also this is asked. So headache which is relief entirely when eating. Okay, entirely when eating, headache is relief is anacardium. It is compared with sorinum, which is also relief after eating. So yeah, that is anacardium, headache relief entirely when eating. Okay, then in entim crude, the headache is after river bathing, this is also important. So river bathing is headache after river bathing, and from taking cold is not important. Alcoholic drink change. Okay, now headache after river bathing is antim-crude. Okay, then in aurum metallicum. In aurum metallicum, this is important. Always from aurum metallicum, this MCQ is asked. You remember that the person is of dark olive brown complexion. Okay, the headache of people with dark olive brown complexion. They are sad, gloomy, taciturn, disposed to constipation. Okay, and from least mental exertion. So mental exertion is common for all. Remember this: dark olive brown complexion. Headache of dark olive brown complexion person is aurum metallicum. Okay. Then in Asterius rubens, heat of head as if surrounded by hot air. Okay, this is not exactly headache, but yeah, this is also asked. Then yeah, belladonna, someone was asking. Belladonna headache is very characteristic. We read it like since first year because okay, so headache is congestive with a red face, which is a characteristic of belladonna, with the red face and throbbing of brain and carotids. Aggravation from slight noise, jar, motion, light, lying down, least exertion, and ambulation by pressure, by tight bandaging, by wrapping up, and during menses. So amelioration during menses is belladonna. Okay. So boring the head into the pillow. This line is also important. Okay. Then after that, bismuth. In bismuth, headache returning every winter, and it alternate or attended by gastralgia. This is important. Okay, mark this: headache returning every winter, alternating with or attended by gastralgia. Attended, alternate, दोनों चीजें बोली गई, या तो उसके साथ ही होगा या उसके साथ अल्टरनेट होगा. किसके साथ? गैस्ट्रल्जिया के साथ. गैस्ट्रिक जो भी ट्रबल होगा उसके साथ हेडेक अल्टरनेट भी हो सकता है या उसके साथ भी प्रेजेंट हो सकता है. ओके, सो हेडेक जो हर सर्दियों में होता है, एवरी विंटर. ओके, सो दैट इज इन बिस्मथ. ओके, सो बिस्मथ हेडेक. Yeah, after that 2 more will take. 68 is headache in bryonia alba. This is important. Headache when stooping as if brain would burst through forehead. Headache from ironing, on coughing in morning after rising, or when first opening the eyes. That is, in bryonia every motion aggravates. Okay, so all little things you can see on coughing, on rising. Okay, when first opening the eyes, even opening the eyes you can see. Commencing in the morning, okay, gradually increasing until evening, from constipation. So it start in the morning and then gradually increase till the evening, and it is from constipation. So every motion will aggravate the pain in bryonia alba. Bryonia is complete rest. Okay, and opposite is rustox. Okay, then in calcarea phos, the headache is headache of school girls. Okay, headache of school girls, it is compared with natrum mur and sorinum also. Okay, so headache of school girls is calcarea phos. And last for today is cinchona. Cinchona is headache as if the skull would burst, intense throbbing of head and carotid, face is flushed from occiput over whole head. Okay, same, it will start here occiput and it will spread over whole head, and if patient feel as if the skull will burst. Okay, और इतनी throbbing होती है, and throbbing is बहुत बार ऐसे होता है, even if we feel it like, so you know when you are having headache and you feel like, तो एक throb होते feel होता है, that is the throbbing headache. And aggravation from sitting or lying must stand. This is characteristic. Remember, syncona. Usually when there is pain, what we do? Rest, lying down, amelioration होता है. But in syncona, aggravation for sitting or lying. Okay, must stand or walk. Okay, when patient is standing or walking, pain is ameliorated. Okay, after hemorrhage or sexual excess. Okay, so whenever there is headache, patient will not be able to sit or not be able to lie down. He will be always standing or walking. Okay, and then walking and standing ameliorate headache of syncona. Okay, so yeah, that is about syncona headache. So many more remedies are there which has characteristic headache, but I think that is all for today. We'll stop here and we will continue other medicines tomorrow. Okay, any doubt, any questions you can ask. Anything you can ask. Was it okay, or you will like to suggest anything, any change? Hopefully you all understood what we discussed today. This is very very important, and remember all this, characteristic of headache, a different pain, character of different pain, toothache, and menses, character of menses, character of leukorrhea. All these are very important, and questions are asked from all this. Comparison is very important. You should be able to compare how is the vertigo of this remedy with how you differentiate it with this remedy. Yeah, no questions. सब समझ गया. Okay, then good. No questions. You all are very attentive, very intelligent. So fine. Yeah, okay. So yeah, okay. So let's call it a day. Today, that was all for today. Tomorrow we'll discuss remaining remedies, medicines, the characteristic of headache, and one short medicine from Alan's keynote. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. Take care. Bye. Good night.